Welcome back, everyone. Today we'll be discussing the Union Dunk Low Passport Pack Pistachio once again. Specifically, the two things I wanted to focus on today are the potential restock we may see on these, in addition to just a quick recap of everything we saw that went down during this drop, and quite a few interesting things you'll see. To preface this, if you guys enjoy these types of videos regarding the market, reselling, and even info on how to acquire these limited products, be sure to subscribe and enable post notifications. This way you're always 100% updated. Furthermore, for more urgent updates, like the direct link I tweeted out for you guys today, follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and also personals for you. First of all, let's go over why most of you guys are likely here, and that's regarding the potential restock we'll be seeing on these. I'm going to explain why that could be the case. So if you didn't watch my How to Cop guide for these and you're completely new to the Shopify new domain drops, essentially the method that was used today to release these as we expected, you may have been a little bit surprised to see that there was a lot of manual success on a Shopify drop, considering Shopify is normally heavily botted. Well, even though there was a notable amount of manual success, bots actually have been performing better and better on each of these drops. And when you think about it, it's really not too surprising that this would eventually happen, since the new domain isn't any different than any Shopify site that bots already support. What really makes it difficult for bots to hit is simply because botters don't really want to run typically if they don't have the early link for the new domain in advance, since if they get the domain when it goes live, there's not really a point to adding it into your custom Shopify task compared to just already going for it manually. You're burning more time by actually setting it up in your bot last minute. Well, this actually began to change when a select few groups, including Endurance, started posting these early links for the new domains, and now botters of course do have time to set up before the drop actually occurs. Hence, there were certainly quite a lot of bot orders, to say the least, during this drop, especially compared to the first Jordan 4 Union drop, where we saw pretty much zero bot orders, where in this case it was quite the contrary. So with that said, it is extremely likely that we are going to be seeing a lot of cancels. More importantly, this is not the first time Union in particular has actually done this because of this precise situation. If you guys recall the 2018 Jordan 1 Union drop, that drop was also heavily botted, leading to a ton of orders cancels and thus a full restock on the Union LA site. Considering this drop had quite a lot of bot orders and thus cancels from people who didn't properly jig duplicate profiles, we might see that end up being the case again. So therefore, if Union decides to comb through these orders, it's very likely we'll see a restock for this stock. In fact, we also recently saw the same thing occur for the Jordan 1 Meunier, since there were a lot of cancels for bot orders on that drop too. So now, considering that there was actually a notable amount of bot orders, hence I do believe there is a good chance that we might actually see a Union restock, just like we saw in 2018 for the Jordan 1 Unions. Now, there is no need to camp the Union site or watch monitors constantly every day or anything like that. Just like the time they did this in 2018 for the Jordan 1s, they are going to announce the details via their Instagram well in advance, and of course I will be keeping you guys updated, so just make sure you subscribe and follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10. Now, on the other hand, hypothetically, if they do decide to simply backdoor all these canceled pairs, we will still be seeing drops for the other two colorways of these Union Dunks in March, so regardless, that is definitely still something to look forward to. If they do end up doing the restocks, however, my best guess is that they might end up doing one big restock with all the colorways. We'll see though, and of course I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, so now with that said, let's go over some notable things that we observed during today's Union release. We already discussed that there definitely were more bot orders than the Jordan 4 Union drop, and again, this is because some groups, including Endurance, posted the early link in advance for members to have an advantage. Therefore, this of course gave those with bots plenty of time to create tasks. But what's more interesting than that is the situation that went on with these early links in particular. A lot of you guys who are in other cook groups or even users of the popular app may have noticed that there were multiple domains floating around. Well, let me actually tell you what was really the case. Some people think Union changed their link, but this is not true at all. It was the same the entire time. You see, what really happened, a friend of mine decided to post a bait link in his group before he posted the real one, because he was predicting that some groups and even the app was plotting to steal them, and he ended up being correct. A lot of paid services got caught red-handed in this process because they did end up posting that particular link. Now, what's really unfortunate about this entire situation is that these paid services have innocent users whose chances of copying were hindered because they were refreshing a fake link at 12 p.m. that was never going to drop any stock in the first place. They would have had a better chance of copying had these services never planned to steal any links, and thus they would have just been waiting on the Solink's Twitter or my Twitter for us to tweet out the links, and then they would have had a fair chance at copying. But instead, that ended up not being the case. This was really sad to see because a lot of these poor people lost their chance at copying all because these other paid services wanted to steal the links in hopes of being able to get some good marketing out of it. Well, I really do hope that these people did learn their lesson so this doesn't happen to innocent users again, because it really is sad to see things like this. Even some YouTubers live streaming were fooled by this link too, and then they sent this link to their subscribers, fooling them too and reducing their chances of copying. So it's really unfortunate to see things like this. Stealing really does lead to bad things. So yeah, most of you guys probably didn't even know all of this happened, but I do think that you guys deserve to know the truth. Now, aside from that, what else did we see from this drop? Well, we still seem to be seeing people getting looped on the box Captcha because they keep trying to solve the Captcha instantly. Guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. Like I always say in my How to Cop guides, you need to solve the Captcha slowly. I've been saying this since the very first time we saw this, and people still don't listen. Please, you have to trust me, guys. I know it's your instinct to want to solve it instantly because it's your natural reflex as a reseller to do everything as fast as possible, but you have to trust me. It's imperative that you take your time solving this. Try to take at least up to 3 seconds when solving this, and this is because you have to keep in mind that even though this is just an H Captcha, at the end of the day, this is an anti-bot, and some of these anti-bots are checking to see how long it takes a human to solve a Captcha like this, and if you go too quick, it might assume you're a bot and thus gets you caught in the loop. Another thing we saw was the frequent crashing of the Union website. Clearly, Union did not scale the site sufficiently. It did not hold up well at all, and this was really embarrassing. If you ever do get a page like this on any of the pages, whether it be shipping or payment, all you guys need to do is refresh the page until it comes back, and your progress should be saved. Another thing we saw was an extremely small terms and conditions box that many people didn't see at first, including myself. I have no idea who designed this website, but this was definitely very embarrassing, so I hope they improve this in the future, and we do get a box that's a little bit larger than this. Aside from that, it was pretty much exactly as I said it would be in my How to Cop video. Let me know how many pairs you guys managed to cop. I personally was only able to get 1 pair because, of course, did have to tweet out to you guys first and then go for my pair, but I'm more than happy with just getting 1 pair. Of course, passive autofill from Endurance was a huge help for me. It was pretty much an instant checkout after Q. But anyway, that'll conclude it for today. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed, or perhaps if you learned a thing or two, subscribe and enable post notifications. This way you stay 100% updated on all these type of releases. Also, feel free to check out the links in the description below for reliable, fast residential proxies and pre-verified Nike sneakers or Adidas accounts. Also, feel free to follow Endurance's Twitter for updates on restocks or key giveaways, and the same goes for Gargantua if you want to keep up to progress or restocks. Last but not least, make sure to follow Keith Adam 10 and Personals for You so you guys stay updated on all urgent info like I was discussing today. With that though, I will see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day.